storylines to watch, matchups for Week 10. Chris, you're up first.
Well, I'm going to go to the coach homecoming that I'm most excited about. The big game on Sunday afternoon, the Cowboys-Packers, even though the Packers are not what we thought they were going to be. I mean, Mike McCarthy versus the Green Bay Packers, I'm interested in that story, certainly. First time going back to Green Bay, he was a Super Bowl winning head coach. Man, on the way out the door, there was a lot of stories about dysfunction and, him and Rodgers, did they get along? And here it is, McCarthy and the Cowboys are thriving and continue to get better, and Rodgers and company are going down the drain here as we watch slowly. So I am excited to see that, let alone it's McCarthy and that defense versus a struggling Aaron Rodgers in that offense too, which, I mean, I'm sure he won't shed a tear if his defense picks off Rodgers a few times and hits him and makes life miserable. So I'm excited to see that.
Just occurred to me, if the Packers finish 7-10 or worse, they will have lost as many games this year as they did in Matt LaFleur's 3 prior regular seasons combined. He's got 10 in 3 prior seasons. He could have 10 or more this year. I'm going to look at a game that's going to be happening at the same time that not many people are going to be watching. It's not going to be broadcast nationally. It's a 4:05 Eastern start, but it's the Colts at the Raiders.
Yeah.
Jeff Saturday versus Josh McDaniels, the guy who jilted the Colts versus the guy who came out of nowhere to take over the Colts. And, hey, this may be exactly what McDaniels needs, because he's a guy that the buzzards were kind of circling around. And what's going to happen with him? Is he going to survive the season? Long meetings with Mark Davis after every game, losing in ugly fashion. They need this one badly. If he loses to Jeff Saturday on Sunday, Chris, there may not be a Monday for Josh McDaniels.
I hear you there. That would scare me too. And that probably would have been my next pick, too. For 2 teams that aren't very good, that is kind of like, with the history of McDaniels with the Colts and then what's going on right now and all that. Yeah. We got to tune in and make sure we keep an eye on that, just for how the game unfolds and the process and what Jeff Saturday looks like managing some situations. I mean, that to me is going to be worth the watch just there in itself. So I'm with you there. It's a good pick. I think the next one I'm going to go to is Russell Wilson versus this hot Titans defense. Right, the Titans, I just feel like, don't look at what their yards per game are or what they are ranked. They don't let you score points very easily. And their defense, you take last 4 weeks as compared to early in the year, where they've struggled and they had some injuries. And I think their defense, Mike, they are one of those teams that they have so many rules and so many things they do. They mess some things up early in the year, but man, they got it going. It was an onslaught of different coverages, creativity and stuff against the Kansas City Chiefs last week. And now you got a Russell Wilson. Okay, yeah, they had a bye week. Did it get any better? And you got to deal with this group who they just rush forward. They don't really ever blitz, and you got to try to pick apart this defense and what they do. Ooh, wow. So I want to see Russell Wilson versus this group and see if he's improved in this offensive, if it's improved at all here over the bye week.
I got another coaching matchup that wasn't obvious, and I said during the break, a lot of times you just scroll through the slate of games and the intriguing matchups jump off the page. This one required a little thought from me.
Yeah.
Doug Peterson and Andy Reid.
Whoa.
The former Andy Reid lieutenant, bringing the Jaguars in, coming off of a win over the Raiders, trying to turn around their season. The Chiefs, a little underwhelming in their come-from-behind victory over the Titans, although the Titans are pretty good. There are a couple of guys who know each other well, and I give Andy Reid the edge. He knows Doug Peterson pretty well. And, again, look, I don't expect the Jaguars to win the game. I'm just intrigued by the fact that it's head coach and one of his former lieutenants who has done pretty well for himself, won a Super Bowl elsewhere in Philadelphia. Let's take a break. We'll do round 3 of the Week 10 matchup draft right after this.
All right, tick, 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 tick. I am going to go with our game on Sunday night, which I'm really excited about. I mean, the Chargers at the 49ers. Stinks we won't see the Bosa brothers, right? Or at least I don't think Joey's going to play, right? Maybe there's some talk.
I don't think so. He's got that groin injury, right? I don't know.
Yeah, so I don't expect that. But the big thing for me is Shanahan versus Staley here in this one. We discussed a little earlier in the show. Debo's back. We haven't seen Christian McCaffrey with Debo unveiled yet and what they can do there. We saw what they can do with Christian McCaffrey and how special that was. Well, they got that and then a Chargers defense that it can't stop the run. I mean, they can't stop the run, and you got to deal with, some things that you haven't seen before and a team that's healthy off a bye week. So I'm excited to see what Staley does to compound that and how he tries to, slow down this attack of the 49ers. That's one I'm intrigued by on Sunday night.
I am going to assume that Josh Allen will not play on Sunday, which makes Case Keenum / Stephon Diggs versus the Vikings my final pick. The bizarro Minneapolis Miracle game. It really is amazing to think that the two guys on both ends of one of the most memorable plays in NFL history could be going against the Vikings with the same team. Again, it all presumes that Allen won't play, but I listen to Vegas, Chris. That line moves from 9.5 to 3.5. That tells me Josh Allen isn't playing, and it's going to be Case and Stephon versus the Vikings. And even though the coaching staff has changed, there's still some guys on that defense that know Case Keenum and Stephon Diggs very well from practice.
Yeah, well, I'm interested even too of just the Kirk Cousins aspect of this. By all due accounts, it seems like Stephon Diggs wanted out of there and didn't want to deal with that, and he wanted to go with Josh Allen. And then Kirk Cousins, by all due accounts here, is he's pretty happy with Justin Jefferson. He certainly shouldn't be disappointed. He can make a case that he maybe upgraded, even though both are awesome for sure. So that makes it interesting too, Mike.
And Cousins said something like that, and I would be very careful because you give Stephon Diggs extra motivation, he kind of slips into that alter ego, and you don't want to mess with him. It should be a great game. Thanks for some of your time. Have a great day.
See ya.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.